So if you've spent any time on the command line, I'm willing to bet you've typed the word grep. But have you ever stopped to think about what really happens when you hit enter? Today we're going under the hood of this incredibly powerful and common tool to find out.
You know that feeling, right? When you're just drowning in text files? You know the answer you need is in there somewhere. Maybe it's a specific error message or a username, but it's buried in a literal mountain of data. It feels impossible. Well, that's exactly the problem grep was born to solve.
And this is grep. It's the elegant, powerful solution to that exact problem. Think of it as your text-searching superpower living right inside your terminal. It's designed to slice through all that noise and find exactly what you're looking for, and it does it instantly.
Okay, so let's dive right in and start with the absolute basics. This is the simplest, most common way to use grep, and honestly, it's the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about.
So check out this super simple example. Every basic grep command has three parts. First, you've got the program itself, grep. Then, the thing you're searching for, the pattern, which here is pizza. And last, you tell it where to look. In this case, a file called diary.txt.
And then you hit enter and boom, the result is immediate. Grep just zips through that file and spits out every single line that has the word pizza in it. It's that simple. It's lightning fast, it just works.
Okay, but the basic search? That's just scratching the surface. This is where grep starts to get really interesting. We can add what are called flags to the command. Think of them like, well, power-ups in a video game that totally change how your search works.
So let's start with two of the most essential power-ups you'll ever use. First up is the I flag, which makes your search ignore case. And second, we've got the R flag for what's called a recursive search. Seriously, just knowing these two will solve like 90% of your daily search problems. All right, first power-up, the I flag. The I stands for insensitive, as in case insensitive. When you add this little flag, your search completely ignores capitalization. This is so useful because now you don't have to worry if the word you're looking for is at the start of a sentence or not. It'll find pizza whether it's all lowercase, capitalized, or even screamed in all caps.
Now for our second power-up, and believe me, this one is a total game changer. The R flag stands for recursive. What does that mean? It tells grep to look for pizza not just in one single file, but in every single file in the folder you're in, and all the folders inside that folder, and so on. It basically turns grep from a scalpel into a search engine for your entire project.
Okay, so we've established that grep is awesome at finding stuff. But what if you need to do the exact opposite? What if you want to find every line that doesn't have a certain word? Well, guess what? Grep can do that too. The magic ingredient here is the V flag. That V stands for invert. It completely flips the search on its head. So instead of showing you lines with the word pizza, it shows you every single line without it. This is an amazing way to filter out noise. Just imagine, you have a giant log file, and you want to hide all the boring success messages so you can find that one sneaky error. V is your best friend. Okay, now it's time for a fun little insider secret. If you've used grep even a few times, you've probably seen this next thing happen, but maybe you never knew why. This is one of those aha moments. So think about it for a second. When you run a grep search, have you ever noticed that the word you were looking for magically shows up in a different color? It's highlighted, right? It makes it super easy to spot. But wait a minute, where does that color come from? We haven't told it to do that. Well, the secret isn't some kind of terminal magic. It's actually something called an alias. It's just a clever little shortcut that your computer's operating system sets up for you, pretty much to make your life a little bit easier. So here's what's actually going on behind the scenes. When you type grep and hit enter, your system is probably running a slightly longer command for you. grep-color equal to auto. This alias is basically just a nickname for that longer command. And you can see this for yourself. Next time you're at a command line, just type alias grep and see what pops up. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's do a quick recap of the awesome toolkit you've just unlocked. You now know how to find any piece of text in a single file. You can make your search case-insensitive with I. You can search entire projects with R. And you can even find what isn't there with V. That's a whole lot of power. But you know, finding all that data is really just step one. Once you've gathered all those lands of text from all over the place, what do you do with them? And that, my friends, is where your command line journey really starts to get interesting. So, in our next explainer, we're going to take the logical next step, how to manage all the stuff you just found. We'll be looking at two more absolutely essential commands, sort which, well, it puts your data in order, and unique, which is perfect for getting rid of all those duplicate lines. And that leaves us with one final question to chew on. Now that you have this incredible power to find any piece of text anywhere you want, how are you going to organize it? What are you going to do with it? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.